Have you ever pondered about the birth of the United States of America, the events that led to the establishment of a new nation? Our journey begins in an era of exploration, a time when the world was vast and full of unknowns. The first Europeans, driven by curiosity and the promise of prosperity, set sail across the great Atlantic to find a land that would soon become a beacon of hope and opportunity. These pioneers, with their dreams and desires, arrived on the shores of a land already rich in culture and history. This was the home of the Native Americans, a diverse collection of tribes and cultures, each with its own unique way of life. They lived in harmony with the land, their lives intricately woven into the rhythm of nature. They hunted, farmed, crafted, and celebrated, their stories echoing through the canyons and forests that were their home. But the arrival of the Europeans marked a significant turning point. With them, they brought change, the likes of which this land had never seen before. They established colonies, 13 in total, each functioning as a separate entity with its own laws and ways of life. These colonies, despite their differences, shared a common thread: the desire for a life of freedom and prosperity. Life in the colonies was not without its struggles. They faced harsh winters, conflicts with the native tribes, and disputes among themselves, but these hardships only fueled their resolve. A sense of unity began to emerge among the colonies, a unity born out of shared experiences and a common goal. These united colonies, standing together, were about to step into a fight for freedom that would change the course of history. This story is not just about the birth of a nation. It's about the spirit of adventure, the pursuit of freedom, and the power of unity. It's about the dawn of a new nation, a nation that would grow to become one of the most influential countries in the world. The United Colonies, standing together, were about to step into a fight for freedom that would change the course of history. Imagine a group of colonies united by a shared vision standing up against a mighty empire. Can you see the spark of the American Revolution? In the middle of the 18th century, that vision was ignited into a blazing fire of defiance. The Boston Tea Party, an act of rebellion against the British Empire, was not just about tea, but a stand against unjust taxation. Unyielding colonists, cloaked in the darkness of night, threw 342 chests of tea into the Boston harbor. Their message was clear: no taxation without representation. But this was just the beginning. As the tension between the colonies and the empire intensified, the desire for freedom grew stronger. A group of visionaries, the Founding Fathers, came together to draft a document that would forever change the course of history. The Declaration of Independence, signed on July 4, 1776, was a bold proclamation of their intent to break free from the shackles of the British Empire. It was an assertion of their unalienable rights: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. The Revolutionary War was the crucible in which the fate of these united colonies was decided. It was a brutal, long-fought battle, with the odds stacked against the colonies. Yet, driven by an unwavering belief in their cause, the Continental Army, led by General George Washington, fought valiantly. The victory at Yorktown in 1781 marked the end of the war and the beginning of a new chapter. The American Revolution was more than just a war. It was a fight for freedom, for the right to govern oneself, for the dream of a nation conceived in liberty. It was the birth of an idea that resonated not just in the 13 colonies, but across the world: the idea of democracy. From the ashes of the war, a new nation was born, a nation of the people, by the people, and for the people. This was the United States of America, a beacon of hope and a symbol of freedom, born from the flames of revolution. How did the United States of America, a new nation born out of revolution, grow into a vast country stretching from sea to shining sea? As we delve into the third chapter of our journey through American history, we explore the fascinating period of westward expansion. The early 19th century marked a time of significant growth as pioneers forged their way westward, driven by the promise of opportunity and a sense of destiny. This period was characterized by the spirit of manifest destiny, a term coined in the mid-19th century. which encapsulated the belief that the expansion of the United States throughout the American continents was both justified and inevitable. One monumental event that catalyzed this expansion was the Louisiana Purchase. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson made the bold decision to purchase the Louisiana Territory from France. This transaction doubled the size of the nation, opening up vast tracts of land for exploration and settlement. Then, in the middle of the 19th century, the discovery of gold in California sparked a rush of thousands of people heading westward. The gold rush, as it came to be known, not only brought wealth to many, but also contributed to the rapid population growth and economic development of the West. Yet, the journey westward was not without its hardships. Pioneers faced a myriad of challenges, from hostile terrain and harsh weather to conflicts with Native Americans whose lands were being encroached upon. Nevertheless, these pioneers were resilient. They saw in the West a land of opportunity, a chance to build a new life. The period of growth and expansion was indeed a crucial phase in the making of modern America. It shaped the country's character, its geography, and its sense of identity. However, with this rapid expansion came inevitable growing pains. The nation was growing, expanding, but with growth came growing pains. What happens when a nation's ideals of freedom and equality clash with its realities? This question came to a head in the mid-19th century, with the eruption of the American Civil War, a conflict that would forever shape the nation's identity. The Civil War was not a sudden outbreak, but a culmination of long-standing tensions between the North and South, primarily over the issue of slavery. With the South's economy heavily reliant on slave labor, and the North increasingly influenced by abolitionist ideals, the stage was set for a clash of epic proportions. As the war raged on, key battles emerged that would tip the scales of victory. The Battle of Gettysburg, often considered the war's turning point, saw the Union forces halt the Confederate advance into the North, while the siege of Vicksburg gave the Union control of the Mississippi River, effectively splitting the Confederacy in two. In the midst of the war, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, an executive order that declared all enslaved individuals in Confederate-held territory to be free. This monumental act did not immediately end slavery, but it shifted the war's focus to a fight for human freedom. The war came to an end in April of 1865, when Confederate General Robert E. Lee surrendered to Union General Ulysses S. Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. But the end of the war did not mean an end to the nation's struggles. The ensuing period of Reconstruction aimed to reintegrate the Southern states back into the Union and secure rights for the newly freed African Americans. However, this period was fraught with challenges, as deep-seated racial prejudices and economic disparities persisted. A nation torn apart by war found its way back together, but the path to true equality was still a long journey ahead. The Civil War and Reconstruction were pivotal chapters in American history, laying the foundation for the ongoing struggle for equality that continues to shape the nation. How did the United States transform from a young nation healing from civil war into a global superpower? As we stride into the 20th century, the United States was about to experience a series of pivotal events that would fundamentally shape its identity and stature on the global stage. The World Wars, for instance, saw the United States emerge as a global superpower. The country's involvement, particularly in the Second World War, marked a turning point, shifting the balance of power and setting the stage for America's pivotal role in global affairs. But it wasn't just on the battlefield where the United States was making its mark. Back home, the nation was grappling with the Great Depression, a devastating economic downturn that brought hardship and anguish to millions. Yet, the American spirit proved resilient. Through sweeping reforms and initiatives, America gradually clawed its way out of the abyss, demonstrating a resolve and tenacity that would become a hallmark of the nation's character. Then came the Civil Rights Movement, a transformative period that challenged the very fabric of American society. Through peaceful protests and powerful words, figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks sparked a nationwide conversation about equality and justice. leading to landmark legislation that aimed to dismantle segregation and discrimination. The latter part of the century witnessed a technological revolution. Silicon Valley became the epicenter of innovation, with companies like Apple and Microsoft redefining how we work, communicate, and entertain ourselves. This era of digital innovation underscored America's capacity for creativity and entrepreneurship, further solidifying its position as a global leader. Through times of war and peace, prosperity and hardship, the United States has navigated the complex currents of history. Its journey from a young, war-torn nation to a global superpower has been marked by moments of triumph and tribulation, of progress and struggle. From its birth to its growth into a global superpower, the history of the United States of America is a testament to the power of unity, resilience, and the enduring spirit of freedom.